Boy Matt here, just listening to the National Carillon right now. Okay, that's over. So yeah, today is the 4th of August. I just came across this monument. So I'm next to Lake Burley Griffin, so this is the lake around our capital. It's over there, we've got all our important national buildings. You just heard the National Carillon, which is like a, big, it's like, kind of like a clock tower. There's all these bells in it, these big buttons which get pressed. I'm pretty sure at the moment it's actually automated. Who knows? Fancy clock. But I came across this monument. It's about a drug called thalidomide. And I want to discuss monuments and policy. And there's this tendency in our culture to kind of overplay foreign policy and see all the tragedies and human suffering in the context of things such as wars and national policy. Things external to us which bring us together, such as the military. In reality, most human suffering and most work done in our culture and society, which is done to improve human flourishing, and the tragedies which inflict us on the day-to-day, which need to be addressed, are not wars. They're things like this drug called thalidomide, So this is a drug which was used to treat nausea in pregnant women, resulted in a whole lot of birth defects, and it was such a national tragedy that we had to get a fucking monument for it. And this is the kind of thing that we're going to need to make for the NDIS. It's going to be another one of these monuments. And all the fucking feelings, like I identify far more with this monument, and this monument probably has more emotional resonance if people are honest with themselves about things than any of this military shit. Right, I think it's become overly emphasized in our culture. So this monument, it's got the timeline of the tragedy of this drug. This drug is responsible for a lot of our policy in Australia regarding the Therapeutic Drugs Administration, making sure we don't have healthcare shit which makes us sick. And this monument I can see as sort of the next series of monuments which we hopefully get around to building are going to be commemorating progress that we make in institutions such as the NDIS, ARPA and all these things, because the tragedy that we're seeing now, where we're having these people who are chronically neglected, people with their fucking teeth falling out because we're not able to get the right incentives for people to actually do their fucking jobs instead of just pocketing cash and doing fuck all, which is what I'm used to seeing in the NDIS. We're going to end up with monuments like this where we fucking get our HR right. And getting that right is going to alleviate more suffering than getting rid of this drug. So in here we've got all of the different emotions, the different experiences people experience with this drug, which caused horrific birth defects in kids. And so there's notes like the resilience, the suffering, the anger, the determination you have to get an outcome, to get recognition and to get the suffering to stop when these corporate fuckers are fucking with our health of our people. The hardship, the abandonment when the medical authorities, the one prescribing the fucking drug, the people who you're meant to be trusting. ARPA failed us completely. The NDIS failed us completely with all the shit I've seen. All the things you have to be to get through this, the determination, experiencing the pain. This is a good monument. This is the monuments that we're going to need to build. This is the closest, and people like me who are having to drag themselves through these terrible historical fucking events and having to be the parts of the vanguard who are the agents of the change which are going to fix this shit, right? Monuments like this, they're important to us. Like, I feel, for the first time, a degree of understanding when I've gone to this monument. And the great thing is, it's between me and the monument. It's not me talking to some ignorant, pretentious fucking other psych or social worker. I don't need to worry about that. It's me, the monument, and the recognition of the suffering which gets caused because we can't get our fucking healthcare system to work correctly. Right? Shit like my broken hand, which has caused me to be in so much debt because we're not able to sort out the supply and demand of surgeons and be able to design a market where we're able to get people's healthcare needs met, because we've let this pretentious medical bureaucracy choke up the ability for us to actually care for our people. Yeah. Like, this is probably my favourite monument in Canberra. This is better than the War Memorial. This is better than any of it. This is better than any of our national buildings. We need more of this. And the amount of people who have been affected by the suffering in the NDIS, and now the amount of people who live in chronic pain because their teeth are broken and it's not on Medicare. Like, these people, they need their fucking monuments, because that is actual human suffering which is happening. It's not some forgotten war or some war that we kind of romanticize and build a fucking legend around. This is real. This is happening now. The scale of the suffering is enormous. We can alleviate this suffering. But we don't. And when we do eventually alleviate the suffering, there are going to be a heap of monuments like this one built. And people are going to walk through them, and they're going to look back on the bad days and think of, just like the same way that we have these World War I memorials, which are meant to say, hey, don't fucking do that again. We're going to have these ones. And the national story is, take care of your fucking people. Don't let the rich fuckers ruin your society. Understand that healthcare is political, and it's about people's egos and not the care of the community. And you're going to be able to get around these problems and to alleviate the human suffering requires understanding of the personal psychology of the people who find themselves in power in healthcare, and the economics and incentives which are causing our people to suffer. And that's what these monuments will be lessons for. This is one of those monuments.